Hi everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my tutorial channel. It's Daniela Tran here, and today we are going to work on section 7-1, the core level from the IFM Practice problem. Let's look at problem 1. A call option will be exercised A. by the seller if the market price of the underlying asset is less than the strike price. B. by the buyer if the market price of the underlying asset is less than the strike price. C. by the seller if the market price of the underlying asset is greater than the strike price. D. by the buyer if the market price of the underlying asset is greater than the strike price. E. by either the buyer or the seller depending on the market condition. So remember, a call option by the definition is an option that allows the investor to buy the stocks. So a call option should be exercised by the buyer, and there are two possible answers here, B and D, but D should be the correct answer because the buyer wants to see whether the market price of the underlying asset is greater than the strike price. That is why the payoff should be S of T minus K. So D is the correct answer. Now problem 2. For a certain non-dividend paying stock, the price of a put option with an exercise price of 100 and a year to maturity is 25. The current stock price is 120. The continuously compounded risk-free interest rate is 10% per year. What is the price of a call with an exercise price of 100 with 1 year to maturity? So, for this problem, it's given a put option and it's asked for a call option. So we have to use the put-call parity. The put-call parity say that the call price subtract the put price with the same strike and duration should be equal to the stock price times e to the negative delta t minus k times e to the minus rt. Delta here is 0 because this is a non-dividend paying stock. R is 10%. The put price is 25. Stock price currently is 120. And the strike is 100. So we got the call price subtract 25 is equal to 120 times e to the negative 0 minus 100 times e to the negative 0.1. So the call price should be 54.51. Problem 3. The following table shows the weekly closing price of an IFM stock from March 12 to May 28. Calculate the terminal payoff on May 28 from an 87 dry knockout put with a down and out barrier of 70. Assume that the stock price is observed weekly starting from March 12 to determine if the barrier is reached. So, before we find the answer of this problem, I want to spend a couple of seconds to explain the terminology knockout put with a down and out barrier. So first, when we consider the stock price, we usually draw the stock price like a chart. And we usually draw the line, the upper barrier and the downward barrier. So if we consider a downward barrier, when the stock price hit the downward barrier, we said knockout. When the stock price hit the upper barrier, we said knock-in. And this is the put option. So you see that if we consider the barrier of 70, which is the lower barrier, there is the lower barrier is 70. So if we observe the stock price, we see that there's no time that the stock price hits 70. So there's no time that the stock get knocked out in this situation. Now if we consider, now let's answer the question. The strike is 87 and this is the put option. The stock price by the end of May, on May 28th, is 87.57. So in order to find the payoff, we take the strike 87, subtract the stock price 87.57. We got negative 0.57 which is a negative number, so the payoff should be 0, because the payoff is the maximum between 0 and k minus s of t. So it should be the maximum between 0 and negative 0.57. We got 0 is the payoff. Problem 4. What is the payoff of a 2-year 75 try Dow and in put with a period of 50? So here again, this is Dow and input with barrier. Here, if we consider 50 is the barrier, it should be the lower barrier. The try is 75. And again, there should be an upper barrier. It's said to be knocking if the stop price hit the upper barrier. And it's said to be knockout if the stop price hit the lower barrier. And here we have Dow because we consider Dow barrier. So let's look at the chart. We consider 2 years, so we consider time 2. At time 2, the stop price is 80. The lower barrier is 50. The upper barrier is 100. You see there are 3 dashed line here, 3 dashed horizontal line. The upper line is the upper barrier. The middle line is the trike. And the lower line is the downward barrier. So we see that at the end of the first year to the beginning of the second year, the stock price got knocked out. And lightly, almost the end of the second year, the stock price got knocking because it hit the upper barrier. But that is not what we need for the answer. I'm just trying to explain the terminology. Now, if we consider time 2, the stock price is 80, the try is 75, and this is a put option. So we take the try, 75, subtract the price 80. We got negative 5, which is a negative number. So we have to take 0 as a payoff, because the payoff is maximum between 0 and k minus ft. No matter what situation you're considering, the payoff should be non-negative. Alright, so 0 is the answer to this question. Now let's look at problem 5. An investor purchased option A and option B for a certain stock today, with strike price 70 and 80 respectively. Both options are European 1-year put option. Determine which statement is true about moneyness of these options based on the particular stock price. A. If option A is in the money, then option B is in the money. B. If option A is at the money, then option B is out of the money. C. If option A is in the money, then option B is out of the money. D. If option A is out of the money, then option B is in the money. E. If option A is out of the money, then option B is out of the money. This is a put option. So a put option is said to be in the money if the stock price is less than the strike. At the money if the stock price is equal to the strike. And it's said to be out of money if the stock price is greater than the strike. So now if we consider, we're gonna justify each of these statements one by one. Look at A. If option A is in the money, that means the stock price should be less than 70. And another thing we have to pay attention here is both option A and B are put option that purchase at the same time. So they should have the same price. Now option A is the price 70. If option A is in the money, that means the stock price is less than 70, leading to the stock price also less than 80, which means option B is also in the money. So A is correct. A is the correct statement. Now look at B. If option A is at the money, then option B is out of the money. If option A is at the money, then the stock price should be less than 70, which means the stock price should also, if option A is at the money, then the stock price should be equal to 70. So the stock price is less than 80, which means option B should be in the money. But statement B said the option B should be out of money, which is incorrect. So B is an incorrect statement. And in order to correct this, we have to say if option A is at the money, then option B is in the money. Now C. If option A is in the money, then option B is out of the money. This one contradicts to statement A. So C is incorrect. Option D. Statement D. If option A is out of the money, then option B is in the money. Well, if option A is out of the money, then the stock price should be greater than 70. So there's no way to guarantee whether the stock price is less than 80 or greater than 80. There's no information to guarantee that. So both D and E are incorrect. So the only correct statement here is A. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you like my video. Please like, share, and subscribe.